That's my DJ name, by the way.
OG DJ.
OG DJ in the house. Well, and a little bit brighter news for this week. Moving into Bitcoin hit 50K this last week. What I tell you last week?
Up. You gotta pump it up.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, super exciting news. It crossed 50K. This is like the highest that it's been over the last couple of years. It's been 2 years since we've hit this number. So everyone's super excited. And in fact, it actually went over 50K. It went up to almost 53. It got like 52 and a half. I think during the week, it's come down a little bit since then. But, it seems to be trading sideways at this point around the 52K mark. 50 to 52K.
I mean, it's approaching where the degens. Not sure if the audience don't know who are the degens.
That's my DJ name, by the way.
OG DJ.
OG DJ in the house.
Explain the audience why you are the OG DJ.
Okay, well, the degens are usually that are betting the house on it, so they don't have the 1%, 3% allocation on crypto or Bitcoin the safe way.
All in, right?
They're putting it all in, baby.
It's like I'm going to college, and your college tuition is all in Bitcoin. By the way, we are two dudes in the internet. Full disclosure.
They're taking out a mortgage on their house. It's cash out refi. Let's buy some Bitcoin.
401k. Screw it. That's a degens.
Those are degens. You find a lot of those guys on Wall Street bets too. So
yes, for sure. So I think that when it gets to a price where they are feeling the FOMO, which is equivalent to a fear of missing out.
Yeah,
that's when it's like, man, I need to buy Bitcoin or crypto, right? And then you start seeing the price just going like bananas, parabolic. So
exactly,
I think that maybe in 75, that's when people is gonna start thinking, okay, I'm missing the boat, and that's what is, in my opinion, that will propel to get to the 100K per Bitcoin.
Yeah, definitely. Now, there's still some people right now, though, that are calling for this final drawdown, this final dip. I think we already had it when we went from 49 to 39. That was pretty much a 20% dip, which is kind of in line with what we see filed prior to the push up. It may have come a little early, but you don't really quite know all the ETF stuff that's going on that could have happened, made it happen a little bit earlier. So some people that's still a debate right now. Have we had that final dip before this rush up, or have we already had it with that 39 or that 49 to 39K dip? So we saw some pretty consistent upward pressure right before, when we on our run up down from 39 now up into 52K. I mean, that was a big push up, right? So I think a lot of people are thinking this is it.
Yeah, I agree with that. But anyways, we don't know, right? And it's very always like anything else. You cannot predict these things, right? We have been mentioning it. That doesn't matter the investment. You have to let it play, right? It's just time, let the season, and you'll be fine, right? With some of these investments. So yeah. I think that the other one that we are looking is the supply shock. It's like basically all of the sellers that they were there, the big ones, they are literally finished selling. That's the reason why. And the supply, there is no supply. Once in April, when we have the halving, there's not going to be more Bitcoins to sell into the market. Remember, the miners are providing some of this supply. And once that the miners don't have supply that they are mining, which is only the last Bitcoins, then it's going to be that's what is propelling kind of the halving and propelling the next price jump.
Yeah. So exciting times are coming. I think that's why a lot of people, a lot of your bull proponents, they're saying, once we get to 100K, sky's the limit. We're going to hit 500K, 600K. Even $1 million within this bull run. And the bull runs usually go into probably late 2025. So we're talking about over the next year and a half, we're going to see this price rise. So, a lot of people are getting super excited. I think even Senator Elizabeth Warren's getting excited. She even decreed Satoshi Nakamoto as this genius that invented Bitcoin with some official documentation out there. Have you seen that?
Oh man, like yeah, it's just surprising to me how these people like 10 years ago, it's like, oh, this is only for criminals and like drug dealers, right? And now it's like, oh, this guy is like whoever invented Bitcoin is like good for humanity. It's just surprising to me how they're flipping, right? From literally one end to the other end in the spectrum.
Yeah, it's just so funny. For those of y'all that aren't aware, Senator Elizabeth Warren has historically been like super anti-Bitcoin, and a lot of the rumors are that she's been the one that's been pressuring like some of like the vanguards of the world to like not support Bitcoin. Right? They're like, no, you got to be anti-Bitcoin, along with Bank of America and stuff like that. Some of these bigger banks that have been contributing to her campaign. So there's some kind of give and take there. So I will say this is very weird for us coming out of Warren's camp if this is true. Now, I have seen some rumblings online that say maybe it's a hoax. Like apparently you can go out and buy these certificates that look very official with these flags that say,
Sure.
you know, you can put whatever you want on there. So it might be a clever Bitcoiner out there that's trying to pump that price up by getting Elizabeth Warren on, on board to join the bandwagon here.
Yeah, the guy that is one of the crypto bulls is Michael Saylor, right? Man, his bet already netted 4 billions. He has a nice stash. I mean, about 200,000 bitcoins, which basically puts him almost in 4 billion. Um,
Must be nice.
must be nice. You know what? The other one that was interesting is BlackRock.
Yeah.
BlackRock, we have been discussing in the pod, right? Now, with 1 month, maybe 2 months, now they have 110 bitcoins in their stash.
110,000 bitcoins.
True,
Yeah.
110,000 bitcoins.
That is crazy. You know what? Okay, so if you're comparing Michael Saylor, right? He's one of the OG degens, right? He's in my camp. You're right. He's one of the visionaries that said this thing's going parabolic. Here's the thing. He was anti-Bitcoin like at the very, very early also. He didn't really understand it. Once he understood it, he's like, oh man, this is game theory. It's going to play out. I'm getting in. I'm making my bet. Now he's up 4 billion. He's got 200,000 Bitcoins. Took him 4 years. But guess what?
4 years.
BlackRock, half of what Michael Saylor has done in just 1 month. 1 month, BlackRock has done half of what took Michael Saylor 4 years to do. Isn't that crazy?
It's their game. Like you're saying game theory. Well, guess what? It's their game.
They invented it, right?
Yeah. So I saw that coming, right? Like when BlackRock it was going into this game, it's like, well, there are some nuances, right? But it will help to kind of democratize it because they're gonna start pushing it into 401ks and basically like you're gonna have a slice, even whether even because sometimes that's what happens. Like you have these hedge funds that they are investing for the pensions, and maybe it's a teacher there out there that has Bitcoin in their stash on their pension fund, and even sometimes maybe even without them knowing, because actually the hedge fund manager is just trying to have a product that it doesn't relate to anything else, right? And in this case, Bitcoin is going to be that product that, in theory, is not going to be correlated with any of the other products.
Yeah, so it's super interesting. I think, and we've been saying this is coming for a long time, right? And so institutional investors are coming, and here's the thing: they're just dipping their toe. They're just dipping their pinky toe into it right now, and they've already done so much in just 1 month. This is just the very, very start of institutional investment. So if you can extrapolate that out, you can kind of see what's coming. So This is super, super exciting. I mean, it's going to be really good news, I think, for this all around. And you know what? You know who else has seen this coming? Craig Wright.
We said that that guy's a fool, but you know what? The guy's a fool with 22 billions. I mean, he's
That's right. We had to look it up because we're like, how is he funding all this court stuff and all the lawyers and everything? Okay, he has 1.1 million Bitcoin. This guy has
that's it.
$22 billion. Yeah, he just got a little over a million Bitcoin. It's not that big. Right?
Yeah, it's like almost like, yes, it's a big chunk, right? So
yeah. So he has 5 times the amount that Michael Saylor does, right? And 10 times the amount that BlackRock does. So this guy has deep pockets, and that's how he's able to kind of keep this charade going on, this tomfoolery that's going on. He keeps pushing it, but you know what? Don't lie, Craig. Don't lie, Craig. This is not your show. You are not Satoshi Nakamoto.
yeah, and justice will prevail, because this guy started all of this in 2016, that he claims that he is Satoshi. And I was thinking, why this guy? I mean, he already made his fortune, right? But I think that talking to you, we were discussing this, and it's like you were saying that he wants to have his legacy, right?
Yeah. Well, he's getting a legacy right now. He's getting that legacy of being a fool instead of, I think, what he was going after.
Yes, because he also was suing, or is suing, the 13 Bitcoin developers to literally, and this is what there is a COPA organization, which stands for the Cryptocurrency Open Patent Alliance. And you have all of these different companies like Block and like Coinbase and all of these companies that they are just like, hey, we're building this for humanity, right? It's like Bitcoin is for humans. So, and this guy's like, no, I'm Satoshi, right? And he's trying to get the name rights for Bitcoin. That's ultimately his game. But yeah, so far he's losing in court, and which.
Yeah. Well, if his goal was to have his name synonymous with Bitcoin, I think he will certainly be there as a footnote. I mean, I say he's a fool, but he's a rich fool. So he does have that 22 billion, and it's only growing. At this point, if he holds on to it, he could potentially become a trillionaire at some point. So it's really only a matter of time, maybe. So really interesting there. But I will say, like, from the court proceedings, at least the summaries that we've seen, this is why we're saying, he's likely not Satoshi Nakamoto, is because, one, he can't move the Bitcoin, right? That would be one simple thing he could do, is to just move it from his address, even if it's just, a Satoshi, just move a little bit to prove it. You can't do that. Another thing that they showed up in court was, number 2, was he couldn't explain the code. A lot of the code isn't necessarily commented out, and he's not able to explain what these pieces mean. He's able to explain maybe the parts that do have the comment, right? That's a little bit easier, but he's not able to clearly say what some of the code is supposed to do within Bitcoin. So that's another indication this guy is not Satoshi Nakamoto, the one that created the Bitcoin. And then third, he says he cannot remember who he sent some of that early Bitcoin to, if he was Satoshi Nakamoto. So those are some 3 pretty basic things to disprove why he's not Satoshi. So I think he's making the case right there that he's not Satoshi, and he's getting ready for a loss in court.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll keep watching it.
Yeah. Well, so we'll keep y'all updated with that. That's all actually what we have for our podcast today. Hopefully you like what we talked about. Just remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We'd love to hear y'all's comments. And please, if you want to see us grow, please like and share with your friends. It makes all the difference. We'll see you next time. All right. Dale.